As Bruce Medets, I thought I'd start things off. Things are slowing down, and it's coming to an end, sort of, and all of that. So I thought I'd start kicking it off with my best of series. We're gonna start with RTAs. I think there's been not a lot of innovation really. There's been a few guys that tried some stuff. These are obviously my opinions based on the reviews that I did and the experiences that I had with the tanks in question. One of the tanks are obviously it doesn't really fall in the mass production line, but I really have to mention it because it's probably the best single coil RTA, and it's not believing in the hype or living up to the hype or whatever. Hey, cheers everyone, cheers, lekker. I think it's genuine. It's a damn good RTA. All the posts and things like that, but still, and the full method is not necessarily for everyone, but for me, my criteria, as you guys know by now, first of all is vapor production, airflow, and obviously by default flavor. All those three things go together. So that's my first criteria. Second criteria is obviously ease of build, wicking, and the build deck itself. Is it easy to build on? Is it and then thirdly is your build quality, your aesthetics, and all those things. Now, one of the tanks people might not necessarily agree with me, but what pipped it over the other tank that I was comparing it to was the flavor. It was just, the flavor is great. All right, so let's kick it off. We're gonna definitely in a particular order. My number 3 is the Dog RTA by Asmodus. I really think it's just a solidly built tank. The flavor on it is amazing. The airflow takes a bit of a knock when it comes down to the whistling when you go down to 2 holes, but you can play with it. Build deck, easy to build on. It's basically, I would say it's almost like a homage to the Reload, and with a few tweaks here and there, and it's really a great tank. I mean, I cannot fault it on flavor. I mean, the flavor is really, it's top. Very, very, very close to this was the Aqua reboot. What threw the Aqua reboot out for me was the leaking issues and the wicking issues that I had personally. Like I mentioned, if a tank pisses out on me more than 3 times after every refill or whenever, I'm sorry, I can't. I mean, I re-wick at least once every 2 weeks, if not once a week. So that chucked me out. So number 3, the Dog RTA. Now, I wouldn't say it's controversial. I know there's been a bit of drama around this tank, and a bit of negative propaganda from certain individuals towards this tank, well, certain groups towards this tank, and I think it's all subjective. Some of it, personally, conspiracy theorists and me thinks it was kind of calculated. But anyway, not getting into the drama. I think for a first time design, yes, it has its flaws, but the biggest thing for me is the flavor on this tank. It's unbelievable. I think it's probably the best flavor that I've had out of a dual coil tank since the Aroma Miser. And that says a lot. I loved my Aroma Miser. For some reason I sold it like a deuce. I can't remember why. I'll definitely get a Aroma Miser again. So yeah, without further ado, number 2 in my top 3, you guessed it, the FP RTA. I think Mark did a stellar job on this. He was dropped by Blitz. I think just everything that, you know, with the other guy's RDA coming out, I can't remember his name, and I think Blitz really screwed him on this one. Design wise, they could have done quite a few things better. Obviously, being his first time, I presume he didn't really know how to deal with the guys and how to, you know, say no, this is not cool for me. Go back to the drawing board, start the nesting. So everything on this thing, barring the build tanks, barring everything else, to me, this is flavor wise the best RTA. I must maybe switch on the mod. That'll help. Yeah, let's quickly override. Come on. And this has been my daily driver at home. I mean, it's got quite a bit of juice capacity, and I'm actually, now that I'm seeing a bit of leaking. I don't know why it's leaking. I think it was just it was me. Fuck man, it's on the side of the tank. I used one of those dropper bottles. I hate those things, and obviously it dripped down the side. So I thought, oh shit, yeah, Murphy's Law. I've hyped the bloody thing and it pisses out. It would have been quite funny. But anyway, yeah. A few design flaws, and I mean, my video, yeah, I kind of lost my shit on it. But I had stuck with the tank because the flavor was amazing. I mean, this flavor is just, I'm not gonna gush about it. Some of the design things I'm not a big fan of, but I can look past that. The juice capacity for some is not enough. My bubble tank for some reason doesn't look as, I watched what's his name, shout out to Jared the Vaping Goat. His bubble tank looked way more, you know, sticking out than mine. So I don't know. Again, it comes down to QC of the manufacturer, and I think they solidly dropped him there. So hopefully we'll do a version 2. Hopefully not with Blitz again. But yeah, this is my number 2 RTA of 2018. It's, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. People comment down below whatever you want to say. I couldn't really care for the negative comments. Obviously, if you've got positive comments, by all means, go for it. I think it's top. Mark, well done with all the trials and tribulations that you had with this tank, all the shit and drama around it. I guess they say any how can you say, any advertising is good advertising, but I think it's not really advertising, it's more propaganda, the negative propaganda that was spent. But anyway, all in all, it comes down to flavor. To me, it's flavor. The other stuff, it doesn't matter, actually, to be honest. It comes down to flavor. Ease of building those things, yes, it does play a role in your day-to-day usage of a certain device, but I can look past that. And genuine, I mean, this thing is, I think it's almost, I wouldn't say it's also a homage to the Aroma Miser, but yeah, it pips it. So, and the Aroma Miser to this day is still one of the top flavor tanks out there, and you even get it in a 41mm, which is insane. So yeah, that's my number 2. Now my number 1 isn't necessarily in the same category when it comes to mass-produced tanks, but I have to put it in number 1 because this was an absolute gem of a find for me. Uncle Rob, thank you. You put us on this. You did a massive group buy, absolutely unbelievable group buy. I think it was like, yeah, I don't even know how much it was. It was insane. And yeah, the tank for me of 2018, and remember, this is a single coil, is the Dwarf DL. Let's take two. It's just, it's for a single coil RTA. Sorry, maybe vape before you start talking. Finish vaping. For a single coil RTA, this thing is just, it's good. I mean, for once in my life, the hype was real. This tank, if you can't afford it, and a lot of people are going to bash me for this, get the clone. Probably just as good. Yeah, I'll probably do a comparison series with clone versus authentics. I know a lot of people might crucify me for it. I don't care. It's my opinion. If the clone vape's the same as authentic, then well, there we go. I think it's a matter of opinion. There's clones everywhere. So, but anyway, so that's my top three. I think the Dwarf slightly pips the yes, okay, you can't really compare it because it's a single versus a dual and and whatever. But this tank is just, yeah, watch my review. I'll try and link it or whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was my quick top 3 RTAs of 2018. Stay tuned for my next one. It'll probably be top RDAs of 2018. I've still got one RDA that I'd like to get my hands on, just to see what it's all about. I doubt if I'm going to get it before the end of the year. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean that's basically my top 3 for this. Mouth to lung devices, since it's all the rage this year, I might do it. I've had a few. I don't have the Berserker anymore. We'll see. Anyway, hope you guys have a lovely day further, and Vaping Bru out.